Yeah, I was able to get her to come back because you guys keep asking for her. This is our episode 9 power review. If you hear Elle, she's in there with grandma. And she's mad because she want to get up here with us, but we're here nonetheless. Honey, you're back.
I'm back. One more week.
Yeah.
This is
Uh-huh.
it.
So a lot happened this episode, and we're gonna dive on into it. If you're finding us for the first time, please subscribe. To all my people that's making comments and super chatting. If I don't see your stuff, don't be mad. When I'm doing a live with her in person, I kind of just go through the motions without reading the comments until the very end. So just stick with me to the very end. But let's open this up with a little video tribute to all you females that love Marvin so much. How you like his ass now? Huh? Let's take a look at some of the stuff that went down with Marvelous Marvin.
So, you some kind of girl faggot? Lebanese or some shit? Shit comes from your moms. Her family got all the fuckers and heathens and shit.
What does that mean for you and God then? Because you ain't nothing but a violation, Marvin.
Yeah, just because you think you a nigga, don't mean you can fight like one.
Yeah.
And they was loving Marvin so much. Ooh, Marvin, he's not a fuck up. Ooh, blah, blah. Okay, we'll get to him in a minute. What you got to say about that?
I'll hold it, I guess, when we get to talking about it.
We'll talk.
Yeah,
so let's start from the very beginning. This episode starts out with Unique and his child putting his child in the car, and it's narrated by 50 Cent talking about family. Nothing comes between family, all that stuff. So, honey, you know, this is one that sticks in my craw anyway, because I'm always talking about how there are people out here that think that, oh, my family's so much more precious than your damn family that I can impinge on your freedoms with your family, but you ain't supposed to do that to mine. And here's a situation where Unique is thinking, look, I don't care you got a kid in the family. You're still in the drug ring, Negro.
Right.
And as he's doing all that, here comes Marvin, kicking in the door, waving the 4-4. Talk about that opening scene, honey.
I mean, we knew Marvin was going to get his revenge. We just didn't know exactly what he was going to do. So getting the revenge in this fashion would have been, I guess, good enough for a payback. But these are the most non-shooting people.
Wait, but you know Unique's car is bulletproof.
Well, if Marvin knows that, then why shoot up the car?
Marvin didn't know that. He thought he was assuming, you know, it was just word on the street that his car is bulletproof. It wasn't no confirmation.
Bottom line, if you're going to strike in this fashion, you better not miss. And he missed. And so maybe he is an F up.
I won't say he's an F up because the car is bulletproof. And if you in a bulletproof, if you in Kit 2000, you're not going to get shot. But the issue
not
is
only that, but Unique's crew was shooting at Marvin when they were bagging away,
right?
And they didn't get hit either.
And did you guys notice how Unique done went and got muscle from somewhere else? Marvin mentioned that in this episode, and we'll get to it. But yeah, for y'all to be some thugs, can't nobody shoot up in this episode. Nobody but apparently Kanan and Rock. They dead shots. Because they don't never miss.
But I agree that everybody think that their own family is precious and can't be touched.
Yeah.
But they willing to go out and mess with somebody else's family.
Exactly. Just stop it. Just stop it. Unique, they coming for you, boy. That war started. Next episode, we get my boy, old Symphony Basket. And just like I said a couple of episodes ago, he should have left Rock alone. He shouldn't have came back begging for the draws no more. He comes back talking to Rock. And she just back to talking to him like she's the damn boss again because of what's going on with Lulu. She's so messed up by what's going on with Lulu. She's basically telling you, look, N-word, what we had was just a dream, just a menagerie, just hot sex, basically is what she's saying. But Symphony won't know. He think he loved this woman. He walks away and says, F you, and she actually got a kick out of that. I mean, did you see the look on her face? She was grinning. Yeah. But he did, even though she did all that to him, he still told her, your brother better watch out for a white girl. Talk about that situation, honey.
I think, well, she's facing reality. I mean, she can't live in that type of life and expect to have I guess, a low-key relationship where they just kind of ride off in the sunset together. So he's going to be at risk by her kind of going off on fantasies with him. Her drug life is falling apart. So it's like I can either be in this world with you, or I have to wake up and be the boss or the drug queen pin that I'm supposed to be, but I can't do both. So she's hardened herself because now she has to, look out for her family, take, a vengeance for Lulu, and getting quote unquote soft in a relationship is not serving her purpose.
So, I mean, there are some things in life you're not going to be able to get rid of. They're just genetic instincts. Eating, genetic instinct. The desire to love, be loved, and have sex is genetic instincts. So you mean to tell me you think she can just push that to the side after we've seen how much of a tiger she is down there with Symphony Basket? Or is she going to try to go get her some dude in the game?
Well, she's going to have to push it to the side for now.
But
and like you said,
she's never getting out the game, though. So she's never going to be able to really.
That's something that she's willing to sacrifice to do whatever it is they're doing. So she can't be in a loving kind of that, that loving relationship and do what she's doing. So she's keeping Symphony at a distance. She don't want to confide in him. He was asking her, I want you to talk about stuff. She don't want to talk about stuff with him like that. He's just somebody to screw around with, and that's it.
But the problem is she don't know. He basically told her, I know who you are. I'm willing to accept that. And because of what came to the doorstep of the club and white girl Marvin messing with, he's involved. He knows now. He knows. He's intimately involved with this stuff. He's actually warning her about the brother.
Yeah. I mean, but bottom line is she's basically saying I can't be who I need to be if I'm all soft on you.
Okay.
So
she coming back. Don't nobody lay down the tiger between their legs like that.
I mean, and a lot of people do that with their careers where they, put everything else on hold until they get to wherever they want to be in their career or later in life. And then they say, okay, now it's time for me to find somebody to settle down with.
And then sometimes it's too late.
It may be. Yep. But that's what she's sacrificing right now.
We'll see. Next scene, we get up in here. This is after Marvin done went and tried to terrorize Unique and his crew. This is homeboy that last episode was singing like a mockingbird. I mean, they didn't even rough him down, or they didn't even shake him down like Gregory Abbott. He up there singing. Marvin did what he had to do. He shot him and killed him. What was you thinking about this? He needed this.
I thought that was cold.
He
just used him to go shoot up Unique and his family and his crew. Yeah. And then when it was done, he was like, okay.
You dead.
Yeah.
Well, you need to, because he knew that homeboy was snitching.
That was just so, yeah.
In the drug game, you can't have.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but it was still cold.
Hey, I mean, ain't that what Rock is doing? This is what you got to do when you pick this lifestyle. You got to be cold. So, and look, I ain't losing no tears over this bum dude.
I guess should he have seen it coming though? I mean, he's trying to rationalize with Marvin, like, I snitched on your nephew, but whatever.
You still trying to separate Kanan, who's in the family, from you. As if you went up Kanan. Kanan's in the family.
Kanan young, he can do it.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Time.
He's still in the family.
So I guess he should have known. He should have been running around with Marvin anymore. So,
ladies and gentlemen, be wary when trying to come between somebody and their family. Even if you in the right, be wary. Family usually gonna side with family, whether you right or wrong. This was funny to me. Detective Howard is at the hospital, and back in the 90s, you could smoke on the premises at the hospital. Nowadays, you can't. You got to be across the street to smoke. So he's smoking, and then he see these two thug-looking dudes pulling up in a Suburban, and like, bro, what y'all doing at the hospital? Ain't nobody bleeding, ain't nobody sick, ain't nobody coughing. They exchange money with this chick right here with a bag and rolls her up some money. And next thing you know, they walking around the hospital looking like Cameo and Nino Brown. Now, this is the 90s, honey. And you know, I used to work in the hospital. I'm a respiratory therapist. Ask me how many times I've seen two brothers that look like this walking together in the hospital streets. 0 times. I didn't even have a haircut like this. And I was cool in the hospital.
Oh, goodness.
These two stuck out like a sore damn thumb. Long story short, they came to try to take out Unique, but Detective Howard stopped it. Speak on that whole thing, honey.
The only thing that stand out about this is that guy, dude in his high top fade.
That's what I'm talking
he
about.
Was killing it.
Both of them.
You couldn't tell him nothing.
Both of them had high top stuff. One had Nino Brown, one had the cameo.
I'm talking about the little Gumby type.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it realistic that he would just kind of just sit back and see all this just unfold and fall in his lap?
You talking about right place at the right time.
Exactly.
I mean,
place at the right time.
And how often is the police at the right place at the right time?
Yeah. And so did he know these guys? How did he know they were going after Lulu?
Apparently they just looked suspicious to him.
And he just knew out of all the people in the hospital, they going for Lulu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take that leap with them.
Okay.
And just accept it as it is. But yeah, they sure got him looking sickly lately, don't they?
Don't he? He got
sickly.
blotches on his skin and blotches on. He's losing his hair. He looked horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then at this scene when he saves Lulu, this is when he has his little conversation with Rob. I need to see the boy.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see the boy. Whole time I'm thinking to myself, bruh, you probably gonna die. Because Lulu done made this pact. She need them drugs from the cartel. She done told the cartel she got to come up with a plan to handle you. And I'm thinking to myself, you definitely ain't getting that bone marrow. And there was one part of this episode that solidified it for me. This was the beginning, but I was like, bro, he ain't getting that bone marrow. Then I seen something where Omar Epps is going to be starring in another show next season. I was like, oh yeah, he definitely dying. But it's going to be this episode or next episode, and we'll get there in a minute.
And I didn't see that coming. And some things happened along the way where I was thinking, is she setting him up to kill, kill whatever, the officer, whoever? But yeah, okay.
Honey, there's something we talk about in the Black community that some white people don't want to deal with. It's called white privilege. You know what white privilege is. You know it when you see it, right? Was this not the definition of white privilege? This conversation she's having with Detective Burke at the very end. I know powerful people, and I'll call them to handle you. All while the husband is back there. And we've all said we kind of okay with the husband. He seems like he's one of these dudes. Look, honey, we made it, but let's stay humble type thing about it. Rightfully, she's grieving because she lost her daughter. That's fine. But wrongfully, what we've seen too often in the Black community, you want to make someone the scapegoat who ain't the scapegoat. So she's trying to pin this on Juke. We know Juke has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing.
And the husband was saying, so she was saying she's the one who introduced Juke introduced Nicole to drugs. And the husband said, well, we don't know that.
Right. That's why we said some of us, we pretty cool with the husband. And Detective Burke is just absorbing the information. She's telling them there's a process, blah, blah, blah.
When the daughter was the one who pushed up on Juke.
Right. Which oftentimes happens this way. And then when the powers that be, parents and folks that don't want to see you integrate, they get mad. And instead of the right person getting in trouble, the one who initiated the relationship, it always falls back on the Black person. So talk about this thing, honey. Is this a definition of white privilege?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It shows me that the wife isn't going to let it go.
No,
so she's going to blow it up. So she's. How does she know that? What is this officer's name?
Detective Burke.
Detective Burke is the one who has something to do with calling off the arrest.
See, we've all speculated that these people. We said this before she said it. They've got to have people in powerful places. We've been said this. And so now it comes out. So obviously they got someone who maybe is a commander or something in the police department that knows exactly what's going on.
So now she's willing to go put on blast that her daughter died of a drug overdose. So in order to take it up the chain, she's going to have to tell what happened. And so she's ready for this to be all out.
Maybe she is for vengeance. And another thing we got solidified was that I said last week that it could easily have been Detective Burke that got JukeBox free from the car, even though they tried to throw us off by saying a man called it in. They clearly said it. See, this is why y'all follow me, because I pick up on little details and I bring in a crew of people to help me find the details. And my wife is usually my number one person on the crew. But during the week, Moochella has to step in and be the first lady to help us get through on these things because she got a notebook. But we called this, honey. We called this. And how are you feeling about Detective Burke to this point? How are you feeling about her? Because another thing we called was that she was going to be eyeballing Juke, and I also said she was gay when people intimated to me, Lamont, how you know she's gay? She never said she was gay. I said, but she's eating around the cookie without eating the cookie. Mm-hmm. And this episode, we'll get there. She just fully done came out and told the whole truth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how you feeling about Detective Burke so far?
I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, she's doing her job. She's a detective. She needs to solve those crimes. Mm-hmm. I just don't know whether or not she's going to kind of do this and have a good relationship with Juke. Mm-hmm. Are they going to be like friends, and she's going to be a mentor down the line, or is she doing this to take advantage of Juke, and eventually she's going to, throw Juke away when she don't need her no more?
Let's hope this is not a repeating of Detective Howard.
And I say that because she pressed her really hard later in the episode. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to warm up to her and then try to slip in questions. She just came off the bat.
But this is cops though. This is cops 101. I don't know how many of y'all have ever been involved in police investigation. I have. I used to drive cabs. I'm from the hood. But this is how cops approach you. They try to figure out something you like or passionate about, and they try to smooth it over for a little while. And then there's this line where it's like, F this, man. You need to tell me something. I'm tired of being nice to you. This is cop 101 right here. Mm-hmm. Except for, I will give her credit for this. Most cops is not going to tell you their sexual predilections. Mm-hmm. But I guess in this case, because
it serves her to reveal it.
Right. She's a black woman, number one, so that's an issue. Number two, the girlfriend happened to be white. Mm-hmm. I'm a white detective lesbian. So you got all that you can use to manipulate JukeBox. Yeah, you got it. Then in the next scene, she finally meets up with JukeBox at Nicole's funeral. At Nicole's burial grounds. And this is when we get the big reveal about a lot of things. And, she's talking about my first love in high school, and young people talking about you don't know love in high school. And I'm just sitting there like, this game. Mm-hmm. And then she eventually invites her to go get some shaved ice.
But Juke she knew what was going on.
Juke knew, yeah. Now, she would have got me too with the shaved ice. You know how I love me some shaved ice. She would have invited me for some shaved ice. I would have went too. Mm-hmm. So at this point, are you, as they're going through this conversation, Detective Burke and Juke, are you feeling like she has feelings for Juke, or is it still just a business transaction?
You mean feelings in terms of
like she wants to be friends with her, mentor, see her do better, maybe even like her?
Yeah, I think she does.
Okay.
I don't think she want to be in hopefully she don't want to be in a relationship with Juke.
She might.
But I think it's more of a, I'm gonna give you some tips and advice or whatever. So I think it's a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. She wants to help her out. She wants her to do well, but she also got to use her
still a job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh boy. This is when Marvin meets up with Rock. By the way, it's 101 of y'all watching us in the middle of a Sunday. Amazing. Can y'all please give us the big like button, share our content, keep us motivated, keep letting us know that you guys are pushing us out there to the main world so they can see a good young black couple that do other things outside of just reviewing TV shows. So Marvin is in here in the little procession area with Rock, and Rock wants him back. And he basically told Rock, look, I know I'm an F up. I know you have vision, blah, 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 but I'm still a man. I'm still a man. A man. I have sensibilities, I have dignity, and I have ego. So you can be the leader, but you got to treat me like I'm a man. Uh-huh. And she says, cool, we family, we're going to do this, and it's time for a revolution. Did you ever think she was kicking him to the curb for real?
No. Well, you know what? If he hadn't redeemed himself.
But she didn't want him to go out there trying to shoot up Unique. Yeah. She said it was too early. Then she said, if you're going to shoot him.
They would have got together this soon if Lulu hadn't gotten the predicament that he got in. So he would have eventually made his way back, but not this quick.
But she's still mad because she's like, bruh, if you're going to shoot him, you got to kill him.
She shouldn't have to tell him that.
Again, now, y'all know no one has been harder on Marvin than me. You've heard me week to week say, stop trying to cake up for Marvin. He's an F up. Before she even revealed he was doing the drugs, like he's an F up. He's not the person that needs to be the leader. And this episode puts the icing on my cake. But I know some of these people in their heart, they still like him. Even though he did what he did, they still like him. But I can't blame him for this. The car was bulletproof. What else you gonna do? He ain't come with no bazooka.
If you know the car is bulletproof,
which he didn't know until
did
he
shot. Say that?
Yeah. He said in this little meeting right here, damn, Rock, the things they've been saying about his car being bulletproof are true. Meaning, when he shot at him, he didn't know that the car was bulletproof until actually he shot and the bullets didn't go through.
But wouldn't you, like, just to be on the safe side?
What?
Assume the car is bulletproof?
I would assume, yeah. I would
make sure that you hit your target.
Yeah, so that's why I said he should. He didn't come with a bazooka. Well, maybe he should have.
Or got him before they got up in the car.
Okay. So basically, you say he's still an F up. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But anyway, people, the family's back together, and you know that means hell to pay for next season. So after that, Juke comes to talk to Rock. Rock knows that Juke is a soldier. She knows Juke is gay, and Juke is basically telling her everything that's going on. She's talking about Detective Burt coming at her 3 or 4 times. And you know what Rock said to her, honey? Rock said sometimes in a situation you need to have a cop on your team and use them. Break that down. That's grown folk education right there. That is grown folk education. Sometimes you got to have somebody in your pocket and use them.
Right. It was good advice, but one thing that kind of struck me was her comment saying that it sounded like this cop like you, which
she does.
The conclusion I would have drawn from that conversation is, oh, this cop trying to get all up in our business, not this cop like you.
No, because I've been trying to tell y'all, whether y'all believe that you don't like the writing, that is messing around with kids on there and all that. Okay, fine. It's a story, y'all. And if they go down the road, they go down the road. I've been said the cop likes her. Now, liking her does not mean that the cop is gonna not sexually. No, I think she do like her like that. But it doesn't mean that she's going to act on those behaviors till she's of age. It's one thing to like someone. It's another thing to actively do things to act on that behavior. So I think she likes Juke, but she's also trying to get her to do the right thing. Maybe Juke can do the right thing and be around when she's of age. Then she'll go after Juke. That's what I think. But clearly Rock has highlighted what I've been saying for weeks. She's gay and she likes Juke. But did you like the advice she gave her?
Yeah, it was good advice. Yeah.
Now, and it looks like Juke is about to start using it this episode.
Right. And don't think Rock ain't gonna try to use that later down the line as well. I think Rock was probably putting that in her back pocket.
Exactly. I was gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, Rock clearly knows that she's about to execute a plan that's going to get rid of someone that was giving cover to her organization. So you always have a backup plan, and she's got Juke working the backup plan. Yeah, buddy. Then we get to hear where Marvin is basically talking to Kanan. Kanan's up there scrubbing the serial numbers off guns, and Marvin is telling him, "You're getting what you want, nigga. You about to be on them streets. Your mom to find breaking down, letting you on them streets." But that's not all that's going on. Marvin goes in Juke's room because Kanan is sick of hearing the old school music. That's just like when these young boys pick on me for listening to 90s hip hop, Biggie, Mobb Deep, Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas, KRS-One. The list goes on and on. The greatest generation of hip hop ever, the 90s. Shouts out to New York. Shouts out to Cali, all my people. But anyway, and while he's busy in that room, he finds the tape where they were singing together on 2 occasions. And the pictures. Talk about that, honey. He just went ham on that situation.
Now, first, I was thinking, why would Kanan send him into Juke's room?
You
he know good and well. Yeah, I guess a little bit that can fall on Kanan.
Blaming it on Kanan.
Yeah.
That's not Kanan's fault.
But he know Juke made a comment before about she don't want her daddy snooping up in her room or sniffing around in her room.
She did.
And so Kanan, even though Kanan planned on going and running and looking in the room himself, he still
brought up the idea.
The idea of going and getting some music out of Juke's room. And so when he went in here, I'm like, oh goodness, here we go.
And he found everything.
And initially, when he paused before he reacted, I'm like, okay, is he about to flip out, or is he just gonna be like, okay, this is my daughter. We just gonna have to figure out how to deal with this. And so I didn't know which way he was gonna go. And then he knocked that doggone TV off the table. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go.
You gotta remember, this is the 90s. People wasn't thinking as liberal as they think now during the 90s. So we'll get back to that in a minute. But that triggered something in him, which makes me think, does he have some gay in him? Because he was triggered hard. He was triggered real hard. Maybe that'll come out. Then we get back to this scene, which I knew we've been said this was going to come to a head. Detective Burke and Detective Howard. Detective Burke ain't no slow lead. She says, look, what is it with you and that Stark family? Howard rebuttals, look, I'm going to tell Captain we can't be partners no more because you're not listening. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, N-word. We're supposed to be working together to put people in jail. You're not doing that, is what Detective Burke is thinking. And they end with Howard storming out, going to tell the captain. But Detective Burke actually didn't look like she was all that worried. She's standing there right there, like her hands on her hips, like, go tell.
Because she know he up to stuff.
She know it.
And then I was thinking, is it that easy to switch partners?
No. No.
You can just pick and choose who you want to work with or not. And
you have some cadence in it, but not. It's got to be something. So there's going to be an investigation. They're going to be trying to figure out why you really want to get rid of them. Have you had complaints? There's going to be a whole lot of stuff like that. But
she know he up to something.
This is the moment I knew for sure he was going to die this episode.
Why is that?
That was the moment I knew, because you done interjected controversy among him to the point where he wants to split from his partner. And there's no way they're going to have all the things I just mentioned that go into causing detectives to split. And they have started to build on Detective Burke's narrative. So I said to myself at this point, okay, it's been revealed that she has feelings for Juke, and someone done told her to use that. The person that told her to use it is masterminding everything. So at this point in time, I already knew Detective Howard was going to die this season. I already knew it. I knew it. I said, this is it. He's dead. He's dead. And let's keep this thing going. Oh, boy. All my women out there that like Marvin, put his pictures up, and I'm going to say it like this. Is this your king?
Oh, goodness.
Is this your king? Y'all caking up for Marvin? This is the scene we played in the beginning.
I ain't never said I like Marvin.
You haven't, but a whole lot of women have. A whole lot of dudes have, too. They love him.
Okay.
He finds the tape. He talks about JukeBox being a lesbian and a heathen like his mama and her mama's people. He didn't per se say that the mama was lesbian, but he said they was heathen. JukeBox get in his face like this. So what that make you in God's eyes?
Right.
And then
What the heck
spit
you
on him. Now, of course, Juke is wrong to spit on the daddy. But at the same time, I'm going to say the daddy is more wrong for hitting her back in the manner that he hit her.
But so this is after he done said Nicole deserved to die.
Yes, he done said all that. He done said all that.
I mean, but out of that same breath, you basically saying I deserve to die.
Right.
Me and Nicole were together.
And so, exactly. And Nicole is a lesbian. He's basically telling her that she's going to get what God's want for women. God don't want women to be lesbian, is what he's telling her. So Nicole died, which means I should die too.
Right, right.
But then he talked about her family in another revelation of evil, being heathens, which don't mean you're lesbian per se, but you're evil. And then she's like, nigga, hold up a mirror.
What are you? Yeah, exactly.
Hold up a mirror.
What you doing?
And then she spit on him. And then he pimped her like Ike pimped Tina. Kupaya. This y'all king? Is this your king? Is Marvin really your king? Break it down, honey. Tell me the complexities of that scene. Then he was choking the girl.
Yeah.
Like, look, everybody know I'm a girl dad, and I'm a proud girl dad. I love my daughter. And I hope nothing happens where we fight each other in this manner. But it's hard for me to watch. I know this is a TV show, but they're putting this in a situation where it's like, this is something to think about. And it's hard for me to think of any situation where you're going to ever be trying to choke your daughter unless she's trying to threaten your spouse or you with deadly force. So break it down, honey.
Yeah, I mean, it just tells you that relationship was done.
Done.
So JukeBox, she didn't really have much respect for Marvin anyway. She just basically had to deal with him because that's her daddy. But she ain't want nothing to do with him. And so after he said what he said to her, she spit on him. Basically, it's over. It was over then, and he just sealed the coffin when he choked her in until she almost passed out.
Now, what's up with Marvin can't say lesbian? He kept talking about Lebanese. What the fuck? And this is the one y'all want to be leading shit? He can't even get words right.
I think, yeah.
Lebanese, and you can't say lesbian.
Just tell you ignorance.
Yeah. And then he started the whole thing by calling them a gay epithet in the very beginning, but can't say lesbian, but can say Lebanese. Yeah. If I was a Lebanese person, I'd feel disrespected watching this show. Damn you, Marvin. But this y'all king. This the one y'all want to be the leader. This the one y'all talking about need to be in charge of stuff. Hell no.
I don't know when terminology evolved. So were they using the term lesbian back in 1990?
1990. Lesbian has been used since the Greek Romans.
So what were they? I mean, but in the popular
vernacular
pop culture, yeah, were they saying? Or were they just
calling you queer?
Or were they calling?
They was calling you queer in the 90s.
So if that term hadn't become popular at that time,
it was popular in the 90s.
So maybe he just didn't know the term yet.
He knew Lebanese. There ain't no excuse for Marvin. He's a fuck up. Period. That's why he don't get to lead nothing. Stop trying to defend him. He's a fuck up.
I'm just trying to rationalize why he would say Lebanese as opposed to lesbian.
There's a lot of things we can't rationalize why people do stupid stuff.
I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I ain't no benefit, no damn doubt. We've had a whole season to give him a benefit of a doubt. It's time to stop giving him benefit of anything. He tried to choke his daughter over spitting. Spitting and a tape with her. As a matter of fact, I know plenty of men who are comfortable with a lesbian daughter that would be more ice-ended if they had a son who was gay. Plenty of men. People won't say it on TV, they won't say it in public. But if a man had to choose between his children, which one would be gay, 90% of the men would say they'd rather their daughter be gay than their men because of the actual act, the actual intimate act of penetration. Men don't want to hear that it's happening to their daughters and their men. That's what they would say. But hey, maybe I want to hear him say that. I want to hear what he had to say about that. Moving right along. Oh man, this was a good one too. The speech that they was flip-flopping between Unique getting his boys fired up and Rock getting Kanan fired up. Right. Which one got you more motivated, honey? Which criminal got you more motivated? Rock or Unique? Now, Unique acting, I can't every time they put him on TV, I'm in love. I love it. This dude is playing the pure hell out of a 90s kingpin. Love it. So where you going with it?
I mean, I was just sitting back watching.
I was motivated by Unique. I was in here like, yeah, I'm about to go to war. Yeah, nigga.
What stood out to me was just like the size of Unique's army. And he riling up this crowd of men. And then you have Rock just talking to one person. Right. And that one person, I guess, is her army and it's her son. Right. So that stood out to me. I agree with that. So that could have been a metaphor of, it's kind of like when you are an army, but you are army and you got the numbers, but you are this army and you've got the quality and you need less soldiers to win the battle, and in some cases won. Exactly. So it would be like DC having all these guys with no superpowers, but you got 1,000 of them about to go fight an army of 3, and one of these 3 is Superman. That's kind of what I got from this. Like what he's about to do, Kanan is about to do, is going to be so crucial that it's going to cut the head of the snake off from her enemy, which is Unique. That's what he's about to go do. Yeah. But Unique, on the other hand, he think he's about to march through Rome with 10,000 soldiers. He's going to try to destroy everything in his place. But if I had to be led by one of these two, in that moment, it was definitely Unique for me. I was in there like, yeah, let's go get that ass. That's what I was like, damn it, get that ass. Let's go get her. But we saw what the plan was, and we'll get there in a minute. For all my old women again, my middle-aged and older women, Lulu's alive. He started talking with his booth thing standing right there. And secretly, I think, honey, she wished he was dead. I I don't.
I do.
I was surprised to see her there, and the fact that she was just like didn't really want to leave his bedside spoke a little bit about their relationship.
Maybe
because I thought initially she was just there to get the fame and get fame for her brother, Famous. Ain't his name Famous?
Famous,
yeah. I thought she was just there for that, but the fact that she was just so sick with it and couldn't go home to shower, that says a little bit.
Now I didn't think she wanted him to die for that particular reason. I do believe she loves this man. She cares for this man. She has tried to show him a better way. Like she gave him a couple of speeches about you need to leave your sister alone. You can make it in the music game. You know this, you can do. She's giving the kind of speech you want to hear a woman give a man who has good potential. She's giving those speeches. I think that a part of her is tired of dealing with his alter ego, which is the drug game. That's what I think. I think that she'd rather eliminate that part of him than wait for this great awakening of his future. But at the end of the day, I do believe she really cares for him and loves him and wants him to do better. But I think a part of her feels like he's never going to get to that point. But Lulu is alive, women. You can go get your underwear back that you mailed to the Power Studios. You can go get all the stuff you sent because you was mad at Power because you thought little Lulu was going to die. He's alive. Because it was some sad women last week, honey. There was some women.
I never thought he was dead.
Me neither. Me neither. Smoke inhalation. I didn't see enough of what they would try to portray in a scene for smoke inhalation for him to die. So I didn't think so either. And there she is again, just standing there all over him with her little eyes, just waiting for her boo thing to open up, and he did. So JukeBox meets Detective Burt outside the office. She's like, I got something to tell you. Let's wrap it up. Let's go have a conversation. They get in the car and in classic Power form, go by a bridge, have these little deep personal conversations. And Juke basically tells her the police is coming for you. Juke was starting to run that mouth a little too much in this scene, in my opinion. She was just basically talking about, who did what, who did this, and you need to protect yourself because they coming for you next. And I'm thinking to myself, do Rock really want you to be spilling that much beans about what's coming? She's trying to protect Detective Burt because I think she likes her too.
I saw this scene as Juke was putting her and Rock's plan in place. So I thought she was planting seeds, especially when she said that Unique, basically somebody, y'all came for Unique and he about to come for y'all. And that sets the stage for
what's going to happen later.
Yeah, exactly.
100%
so I think
agree.
everything she said was calculated. I mean, yeah,
calculated.
I think she don't have enough of a relationship yet with this detective
Burt.
Yeah, Detective Burt, for her to be revealing family secrets and stuff. She's
using her, yes, but at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, this is the seed of Juke saying, I like you too, Detective Burt. That's all I'm saying. This is that seed. She's using her, yes. She's definitely using her, but I think she's going to use her to her advantage.
But I think that I like you too, Detective Burt was also game. Just like I think it was game.
Oh, so you don't think she's moving on yet?
I don't. You mean you moving on trying to get Burt or whatever?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I think it may eventually happen, but I think this is her trying to ingratiate herself to Detective Burt by saying, "Look, I'm trying to look out for you. Unique and his crew gonna come for y'all." I think that's all part of their game.
Okay, I can get with that for sure.
Heck, Burt did it to her.
She
doing
did.
it back.
Do it back. Might as well. Then we get a chance to see Rock's mama. Now, this is a situation where I'm sure Larry's somewhere happy because the mama did what a lot of us would have wanted Tasha and Rock to do. Apparently, when Rock was young and being dumb and stupid, the mama just disavowed herself from Rock. And so the mama's talking to Rock like, you don't hardly come to church. What you doing in here today?
Right.
I know something is wrong.
Right.
And then she gets in her face and like, don't you try to dare blame me for the things going wrong in your life. And all that tells me is that when Rock started acting a fool at 16 years old, the mama's like, get the hell up out my house. I'm done with you.
Right.
Talk about it, honey.
I mean, because she don't want death brought to her doorstep. And she ain't about to sit and help you learn how to do and sell whatever it is you're trying to do. So
does that make her a bad parent? Because this is always
if that's how it played out, then no, I don't think it makes her a bad parent. No.
So because she had sent her somewhere where she could have done better, like First Prince of Bel-Air, sent her to California.
Potentially, who's to say she didn't try?
Or maybe she didn't have the funds to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe there was no connection for her to send her anywhere.
But you know she wasn't tolerating it.
Right.
And so, yeah. What else was I about to say about this scene? So I was wondering, like, why is she back home sitting at church or whatever? Is she using it as an alibi potentially?
Oh, good point.
Because she's back home with church folk where they see that she visibly see that she's there and not anywhere else. So I wonder if she's using it as an alibi. And
the mama had a conversation with the mama. The mama offered her some sweets, and Rock said, "You ain't putting that kind of stuff in my body." And that's when it kind of seemed like it triggered the mama, like something ain't right.
Yeah, why you here anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And it happens to be at the time when Kanan, I think at this time, Kanan is out doing whatever it is that he's doing.
Yeah, because the very next scene, Kanan puts on Unique's coat, meets up with the daddy. 50 Cent narrates the scene about pulling the trigger, and bam, we've got us a rest in peace video coming this week for Detective Howard. He shoots him and did exactly what the mama said do in training. 2 to the heart, 1 to the head. Bop, bop, bop. Talk about
Did we see him do all those shots? I saw the one.
We seen him do 2.
Okay.
He shot him one time and he failed. Then this scene right here, he shot him again. Then the camera went off.
Okay.
So it's at least 2 shots.
Okay. I didn't think he was gonna do it, or at least I thought before he did it,
he would say, "I'm your dad."
Right. Exactly. Yeah. He tried to get it out where he said Rock is using you or something. She said, and then he shot him. I didn't think he was gonna do it.
Do you think he would have spared him had he known he was daddy?
I don't know. Or he could have just been so disgusted at the idea or mad that he's just learning this information that he would have did it anyway. I don't know. Because
I noticed how they, in that scene with him and Marvin said, "You DEF CON's son, you need to live up to it." They didn't just put that in there for nothing. So I wouldn't have minded if they would have let Detective Howard say, "I'm really your daddy," after the first shot. Let him get shot, and then while you're on the ground, say, "Boy, I'm your daddy. DEF CON not really your daddy. They've been lying to you." And then would have had a reaction from Kanan. That would have made this thing drama filled. But I guess, you got to get on with the story. Yeah. I
mean, is he going to find out eventually? And if he does, how he's going to find out?
Who knows? Because Rock could easily spin the story. He's a cop. He's lying, trying to get close to you.
So we think Kanan is never going to find out.
I'm sure he's going to find out.
Because who else know other than Rock and
DEF CON?
And so is he going to die? Like, do we think officer or detective, whatever his name, Malik, is he dead? The people in the comments saying they don't think he's dead. But he shot him in the heart twice, but he ain't shoot him in the head. So maybe that was a metaphor of something we needed to know, which is why Rock said that to Kanan. And we only got 2 shots. We got one that put him on the ground. Then we heard him shoot him one more time. So it was 2 to the heart, but not 1 to the head. So they strung the storyline along just to it to fall flat and Kanan never find out. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see that happening.
Maybe. I don't know, people, but this is our quick review. We feel very fortunate that 175 of y'all in the middle of a Sunday at 3 p.m. during football, man, came to see us for 45 minutes. Please like this video. If you like this sweater I'm wearing, links in the description, shoplifegains.com. If you like my wife joining me for these, let her know, man, so we can keep putting pressure on her to quit her job as a kidney doctor. No, I'm just playing. Don't quit your day job. But to do more of these, I won't be doing this next week per se because BMF starts, and I don't think they're going to run the finale next week. They might. If they do, I'm going to be out of town. So if I get a chance to do it, I will. But if not, stay tuned for the next day. We'll bring this whole thing back. Any parting word, honey, about this episode before we get out of here?
No, I enjoyed it. I think I liked the last episode better.
Yeah. Last episode was turned up a little more. This is more of a narrative building story.
Yeah.
And we got a whole lot of narrative on Marvin this story.
Yeah.
I just would like to get more unique on the screen, man. That dude, I
nah.
love this dude, man. He's a great bad guy.
It makes you wonder how is the relationship gonna play out now with Neek and her daddy. So is she gonna go run to Rock? So
JukeBox, you mean?
Yeah, Juke. So is she gonna is Rock gonna have her back? How are they gonna operate as a family? And Rock knows that he did this to her niece.
Rock might beat him up, and we've already learned that
because Rock knows.
Yeah, Rock knows. But we've also know that the mama is going to be involved next season. Latoya Luckett is going to be playing JukeBox's mom.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to be bringing that family in, and I'm sure there's going to be drama between Latoya Luckett and Rock, and probably some drama with Marvin too.
So Juke moving in with Rock and Kanan.
Could be.
Because she ain't staying in that house.
Right. Could be. Could be. Or maybe she go hang with Detective Burt for a couple of nights.
She could.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll bring y'all some conspiracy theories this week. Don't forget to like that video. Please comment, subscribe. Go get yourself that life game. We will be here live Monday and Tuesday night with the crew talking power. Stay tuned. Come check us out. Until that next Sex is Hell video, we'll see you. And we are out.